the way that you make it, and maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? You ain't gonna make it, you ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give it them, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give it them, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking.
Hello and welcome to the Neat Glass sponsored Whiskey Tangent Podcast, Whiskey Madness 2023, the road to the final pour, a 4-week-long blind tasting tournament featuring 16 whiskeys from around the world. I'm Scott, and joining me as always is Ed.
Hey, everybody.
Gabe, our referee during the first 2 rounds, was unable to join us today. However, at long last, newly returned from his monastic journey to the Far East, where he spent time gathering sacred herbs from the secret gardens of the Tibetan monks, creating spectacular extracts and tinctures for cocktails of unrivaled superiority, and generally contemplating the futility of existence balanced against the hubris of fallen humanity, Anders, the master mixologist.
Omitofu.
Has returned. It's hard. He's wearing a shocking orange Tibetan monk outfit.
Yes.
And his hair has just grown back in.
It's amazing. It's an amazing mane of hair. And of course, we are once again inside the gleaming Whiskey Tangent Arena, where in round 2, we saw both number 1 seeds and both number 2 seeds advance, a stark contrast to the events of round 1, in which there were 3 upsets. But here in round 3, we're ready to determine the winners of each proofing bracket, who will then go on to compete in next week's Final Pour Showdown. And Ed's here to tell us which 8 whiskeys that battled through the first 2 rounds to be here and contending today to make their Whiskey Madness wishes come true.
Thank you, Scott, so much. And once again, the first round that we went through was a bit of a surprise, where the 90 proof brought through the 3 and the 4, and even the 120 proof brought through one of the 4s.
Yeah.
The 90 proof bracket will have the Journeyman Not a King Rye, the 3rd seed. That will be going against the Redwood Empire Lost Monarch whiskey, which was a 4 seed. The 100 proof bracket will see the top seed, Remus Repeal Reserve, series number 6 Bourbon, going against the 4 Roses Small Batch Select, which was the 2nd seed. And I have to say, this is the match of the day for me. These are both blends, both have different recipes involved. They're both pricey, though the 4 Roses would be considerably less pricey. And then in the 110 proof bracket, the number 1 Old Ezra Rye moves against the number 2, the Smoke Wagon Malted Rye. I guess not really surprised in that bracket. They did what they're supposed to do. So it's a 1 versus 2. I guess the reason it's not quite as exciting is simply because I don't think they're as similar. In fact, they're quite different.
And we already compared them on a short featuring both of those, but we didn't really put them against each other in a challenge like this.
Right. So these 2 were featured together on a short, and now here they are. And then the 120 proof Nulu Single Barrel Bourbon, the 2nd seed, will go against the upstart Old Line Distillery from Baltimore, their American Single Malt, which was the 4 seed, and that's the one that upset the Alberta Cask Strength, which was the number 1. Right. I will mention that the Redwood Empire upset the number 1 Sazerac Rye,
yes,
which was a surprise to us as well, because as you might remember, it won the Oat Show this year during this year's Whiskeymentary. So we've got rid of 8 whiskeys. We have 8 remaining, and all 16 had merit. These 8 are extraordinary whiskeys. We and Scott could easily pick different whiskeys tomorrow if we were to do this in some of these brackets, because they'll be that close.
Yeah, just looking at the 8 whiskeys in these 4 matchups, I think there's going to be at least 3 ties.
I mean, this is where the cream has risen to the top, right?
Yeah, we caught Anders up to speed earlier on the matchups and what happened previously. Anders, what do you think about any of the proof matchups and who might come out of this?
I'm incredibly excited to see our matchups today. I'm very fond of Journeyman as well as Redwood Empire. I think that's going to be an interesting matchup that we're going to roll into. I have to concur that the 4 Roses SBS and the Remus 6 are going to be the matchup of the day. The Old Ezra 7 rye matchup versus the Smoke Wagon rye, I think that's going to be really killer as well. And I'm going to give a slight edge in my own preferences right now to the Old Line, but we could see an upset here as well. So I think there's a lot to...
Yeah.
Did Gabe give any predictions, or are we holding his to the end?
He did. We can hold them to afterward. Or unless you want to read them now. Well, I don't want them to bias us. Will they bias us?
Against them? Maybe.
Well, maybe the hologram will be here.
Right. So we're going to generate the Gabe hologram. And so hologram Gabe will be making some commentary on today's event if we can get it working.
Yeah. It's really hard technology. I mean, they did it once with Tupac, but I don't think they ever did it again.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's going to be weird to see like a life-size hologram Gabe in the corner here. I want to turn him into a drone and just fly him around, but Scott's like, no.
Oh, no. We don't want to abuse the hologram.
Ethics.
Yeah.
Oh, I might abuse the hologram later. Hello.
Ethics schmethics. All right, well, Anders is actually already in the preparation area, and he's about to pour the whiskeys. And as he does, we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back.
I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hates like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts. I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. So until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact. Deep up in my mind, I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Okay, we're back for the 90 proof bracket. Journeyman, Not a King Rye. Mash bill of a 60% rye, 35% corn, 5% malted barley. 90 proof, aged at least 4 years. We'll be going against the Redwood Empire Lost Monarch whiskey. The mash bill for this is made up of 2 whiskeys blended together, which is why it's a whiskey. It's 60% of a rye and then 40% of a bourbon, and that one has about 75% corn, while the rye is pretty high rye. Proof's 90, so they both have the same proof. This is 3 to 12 years because of the blends involved.
Right.
The Redwood's the one that upset the Sazerac, and Journeyman upset that perennial brand Maker's Mark.
We tried to get big boy distilleries in here, and they both lost.
Right, so these guys both upset big boy distilleries.
Yeah.
This bracket's been a victory for the up-and-coming smaller distilleries, for
Definitely
sure.
has been, yeah.
All right, so Anders is passing the glasses over. Here comes A.
Hey.
Here comes B.
B.
B seems to be a little bit darker visually.
Very slightly.
His nose is very different.
Yes. The nose of B is sort of vinyl-y. It smells
Yep.
more like a rye.
Vinyl-y and definitely a little of maybe latex.
I'm really only getting sort of an alcohol scent on A.
Yeah, a little bit of sweetness to it.
A little bit. Very strange.
Yep. Once again, we are tasting all of our whiskeys today in the neat glass. If you haven't joined the party yet, neatglass.com, Whiskey Tan will get you 10% off your first order.
Oh man, Swirling B gave a lot of extra nosing notes that it smells really good. A lot more complexity than first sniffed.
All right, I've tasted A.
Me too. I had a little bit of licorice there, oddly, which I don't think I've tasted on either of these before.
Interesting.
Ooh, the finish was nice and peppery. Now for B. Oh,
Wow.
they're different.
They
Yeah.
are distinctly different.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
This is really exciting.
Wow. I will say B tastes like it smells.
Yes.
Like its finish is very much like its nose.
yeah. And A really doesn't. A tastes a lot better than its nose was letting on. I mean, there is some rye in both of these.
Right.
Perhaps even more rye in the Redwood Empire, since that's 60% of a 95.5 rye. And the Journeyman only has, Journeyman has 60. So I don't know. Do the math.
I mean,
it's probably
pretty similar, man.
Pretty similar, yeah.
But they don't taste similar.
No.
Though the B's growing on me after I went back and forth for a minute.
Yeah. B has some really nice notes in there. I think B is a little bit more complex than A.
Yeah.
All right. One of our votes are in.
That was really tough. They both have merits. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I've handed mine in too. So, was it a unanimous decision?
All right. The winner is.
Oh, it was unanimous.
Oh, it was.
It wasn't unanimous at all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a tie.
It was a tie.
He trolled us. Gabe never did that.
Right.
Gabe is too kind. The mountains have been cruel to me.
All right, so I chose B.
And I chose A.
So you chose A.
Yeah.
And which one did I choose?
Ed, you chose the Redwood Empire, and Scott,
Interesting.
you chose the Not a King.
Yeah.
And once again, I did not love the Not a King Rye on the Journeyman episode. I didn't dislike it,
Yeah.
but it wasn't my favorite of theirs.
Yeah. On the episode that we did, I had to be persuaded by it over time. I did not like it initially either. The more I drank it, the more I liked it. And in this round, it just had a little bit more complexity than the Lost Monarch. So I'm excited for Anders to get to taste after 2 years of not being here.
For the
first time.
For Whiskey
First
Madness,
time in
and
a
he's-
long time.
The first round he's back for, he's going to break the tie. So I'm going to switch places with Anders, and we're already off to some contention.
Overtime. All right, Ed has poured A and B glasses for Anders. Once again, this is the Journeyman, not a King Rye, versus the Redwood Empire Lost Monarch whiskey. Anders, do you have a lot of experience with Journeyman or Redwood?
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
So I've really championed Journeyman since we first opened up in the lounge. Redwood Empire, we brought them on when they first opened up, and I actually have them in one of our drinks on our menu right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I do a smoked highball.
Interesting.
I wanted to do something with smoke that wasn't with a more spirit-forward or fuller-bodied whiskey cocktail. I find most people, when they do smoked things, they go like old-fashioned or Manhattan.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do something a little bit more effervescent.
So I'm passing over A to him,
All right.
and I'm passing over B. Very professional nosing right there. I mean, I feel like a neophyte when I watch him nose whiskey.
A neophyte.
Yeah.
Good word, farm boy.
Though Gabe did say last time, look, I was doing a line.
Yeah, I was like...
He smelled and sipped A before he touched B. I've never done that. It's not a bad idea.
No, the monks in Tibet taught him that.
Exactly. He's holding in both hands like a sacred chalice. It's like a Japanese geisha in the tea ceremony right now, the way he's handling the glasses.
He's the largest geisha I've ever seen.
I'm just saying, he's handling it like that. It's both
You haven't
hands.
seen enough geishas, Scott.
Maybe I haven't. Okay. So what are you getting on A and B?
So there's like a strong cinnamon that I'm getting off of A.
Oh, interesting.
A little bit of anise.
And what about B?
B, it's a lighter nose. It's not as in your face. And it's different than what the palate brings up. A little bit of like lemon peel and, and moss.
Moss. Interesting.
I'm going to go with B.
B. And B was...
Going through to the next round is the fourth seed, Redwood Empire Lost Monarch.
Wow.
Interesting.
Wow.
The Redwood Empire Lost Monarch awaits Scott's tantrum as Anders chose with me again. 2 years later, it continues.
You guys just have similar taste palates, but not always.
No,
not
I know.
always.
I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
always.
So the Redwood Empire Lost Monarch will go through. The fourth seed, they have to be happy with how they performed.
I mean,
I don't think Journeyman should be disappointed either because it's a split decision. We went to overtime here. And Hologram Gabe, what did you think of the Redwood Empire?
Oaky, not harsh, but just a bit more woodsy. It's always lingering. It's always there. I love it. I'm Gabe.
Oh, great.
Fascinating.
Great. Thanks.
So nice. I love Hologram Gabe. You could just start it and shut it off.
Right.
All right. So we're going to wash the glasses and be back for the 100 proof round. The Remus Repeal Reserve versus the Four Roses Small Batch Select. And that is the match of the day. I mean, people are cramming in from outside. No one's buying pretzels.
Oh, hold on. No pushing. No pushing. Jesus Christ.
No one's getting big fingers that say
Security.
Relax.
Everybody is crushing into the arena to see this match, which is coming up next. I'm on the edge of my seat. You should be too.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want, and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Hey. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop.
All right, we are back with the second matchup, the 100 proof bracket, and Ed's going to tell you about it.
Right. Once again, the Remus Repeal Reserve Series number 6, going against the Four Roses Small Batch Select Bourbon. If you want to hear the intricate mash bills of each, we went over them in great detail in round 1. And by round 1, I mean round 2. Both amazing. I have no idea if I'll be able to tell a difference.
No, me neither.
I have no idea which one I'm going to pick. So, Gabe, any thoughts on this?
I've never had any of these. Both of these are very similar. I'm Gabe.
Wow.
Outstanding.
Really
Thank you
interesting.
so much.
Thank you, Gabe.
Okay.
Oh, hologram Gabe.
Thank you as
Hologram
always,
Gabe.
Gabe.
Looking svelte, you are.
Yeah, right. Digital really takes the weight off.
Yeah, yeah.
I heard you gain 10 pounds on being on TV, but you lose 10 being on hologram.
Yeah, interesting.
The more you know.
It's a
More you know.
I've never seen Gabe more transparent. That's great. It's great when Gabe's not here today. We're having fun with it.
Honestly, I think this is the most that you've ever gotten along with Gabe.
Yeah, I think we're getting along better. Me and Hologram Gabe are the best of friends.
All right.
Here comes the A.
There's A.
All right.
Hey, mate.
Hey, matey.
The nose is sweet, but not overpowering.
Sweet and caramely.
Here's the B.
Kermit.
Oh my God.
The noses are almost identical.
Identical.
The fucking identical noses. Unbelievable.
I did not mix them up.
Oh, my God.
or pour the same one into
Right,
both.
it would be funny if he poured from the same bottle, watched us struggle. Like, they're so similar. Just trolling us.
Oh, the evil Landers would do that.
If he ever comes in with like a little Vladimir Lenin beard, we know to look out. I was like, that's like evil, evil Anders.
Or God forbid, a Hitler mustache.
Well, that would just be giving it away.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
that would be giving it away, yeah.
When does Michael Jordan become evil then? Because he's been
I don't
rocking
know.
that for
Oh,
years.
shit.
Well, since he became an owner of a team, right? Isn't that required?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Oh, there you go.
I remember reading in like an interview with him in like Sports Illustrated, and he was smoking a cigar, and somebody was like, "You can't do that." And he was like, "I own the fucking building."
So you'll be there's no be surprised here, Scott, but they're really similar to taste.
Yeah, I only tasted A. I'm about to taste B. Oh, that's just ridiculous. It literally tastes like the same whiskey. Maybe B is a little stronger.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to put that to because this is 100 versus 104.
Really close.
So is that just the 4 proof points? Or is it the flavors? Because these, like, as you said, are both blends.
I mean, if the B is the 4 roses, it could just be the extra spiciness from some of their recipes.
Right, they're yeasts.
Just in case B is higher proof, I put 2 drops in to see if I could bring them to the same proof level.
I feel like that's going to confuse me even more, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm really.
I hope you guys don't agree.
I say this a lot. This is the hardest one I've ever done in Whiskey Madness. I am just befuddled.
So you put water in B, but not in A? Mm-hmm. Okay, I did the same. So smell. Oh, you already drank it.
No.
B smells a little different from A now.
Yeah.
When you put the water in. I mean, A smells a little sweeter, more like brown sugar scents, whereas B, with the water in it, smells a little more herbaceous. Mm-hmm. And I don't know which one I want to pick. Anders is drinking again. One more big gulp of each because I didn't do the big gulp last time because I might have picked the last Monarch if I did a big gulp because off air I said taking a bigger gulp. The last Monarch did taste a little bit smoother.
I have to tell you, I made a choice, but I feel like I'm at a diner when I ordered the grilled ham and cheese. I'm like, but the turkey club's so good. As soon as I put the order in.
But the grilled cheese with ham would be so good.
I know. So it's like, oh my God, did I order right?
They're both delicious.
If we both pick the same one, then I feel validated, but I don't think we have. And I can't argue against either one. If I lose this and the other two pick the other one, I'd be like, yep, you're right.
All right. So was it a unanimous decision?
I'm very lucky.
Oh, you're tasting it again?
It is not a unanimous decision.
God.
It is split.
Damn it, Ed.
I believe I picked the Remus A.
I had no idea what I picked.
Ed, you chose the Four Roses Font.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
I chose the Remus.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Oh.
Holy crap. See, I even thought I had it all figured out. I even put in water in the Remus thinking it was the higher proof.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. This is what we're talking about. If you have not done this with your friends, you're missing a great night. Order a couple pizzas, get 6-7 whiskeys, and just go to town.
All right.
Switching with Anders.
Overtime again. Overtime. The second tie break. I said there were going to be a lot of ties in this. I said at least 3. We'll see if I'm right.
I foresaw 2, but we'll see where
Right. Well, you're exactly right now.
Yeah.
So we have the 100 proof bracket tiebreaker overtime. The Remus Repeal Reserve Series 6 bourbon versus the Four Roses Small Batch Select bourbon. And Ed has poured A and B for Anders to break the tie.
Passing over the A.
All right.
Passing over the B. You'll see how similar the noses are in a second.
I think real Gabe is right about now very, very jealous.
Right.
He wasn't able to make it.
Right, because he would love to be breaking this tie.
But hologram Gabe.
There are a lot of dark horses this year. I'm Gabe.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Great. Thanks.
Good insight, Gabe.
So just comparing the noses, I find that A has a longer finish on the nose, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to put it.
The nose lingers a little
A little
bit.
bit.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, the scent I was getting was very similar.
Yes.
For an ex-kid with a lisp growing up, sense is a
hard word.
That's a
yeah.
tough word for me.
Yeah.
There's too many S's backed up on each other.
Sense.
It's like the C and then the S right after, like sense.
Say Senseis.
Yeah, like
Senseis.
Yeah, like Sansa Stark was also very difficult.
Sansa Stark.
So I could never be married to her.
Sookie Stackhouse.
Yeah.
Sookie Stackhouse. Nice. Did you see who showed up in Last of Us?
I'm not watching.
Oh, Tara from True Blood. You said Sookie, so the Tara, she shows up in Last of Us. Yeah.
Interesting.
Great show, by the way. If anyone's not watching Last of Us, just watch it. Don't be turned off by zombies or whatever.
I like the idea of
or video
zombies.
games. It's excellent.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like a hack off of Walking Dead. It's absolutely not that at all. Anyway, so back to the matter at hand.
Anyway.
He's been nosing, so we realize that there's not a lot of commentary when he noses. He's like a Bushido code of focus. He would take 12 to 18 hours to smell both of these. He would smell one for 12 hours, the other one for 12 hours. And when the sun broke on the third day, he'd be like, hey.
I hate how accurate that is.
Oh, shit. Yeah. You just described his whole thing.
Exactly.
But I have to let go of hatred because it's like holding on to a coal.
Especially now that Sway's out of the country in Japan. He's now the most Bushido brother in the tri-state area.
Oh, man. I don't know. I don't have like a top knot yet. So.
Exactly. You could have one, though.
Yeah.
We'll do that on the next break.
Yeah. You have to explain who Sway is now.
No, we don't.
No. Okay.
Same drug.
It's a need to know.
But
if you know, you know.
I will say that the candy bacon has never been the same.
Oh, that's true.
He came in before
yeah.
I've seen him.
Yeah. I saw him too.
He's an ex-chef at the local.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Did you taste them?
I just tasted A.
Okay.
I really like it. I get like a cocoa powder. So specifically, I get the Swedish cocoa powder called O'boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, oh boy, aka that's my rap name in Sweden. So,
Which is cocoa. I love it.
all right. So,
All right.
and for B,
And B, you tasted?
no.
Oh, you're about to. All right.
No, he puts the ed in edit.
20 minutes later.
So now back.
Back to life.
Back
to
reality.
Back to the here and now. Yeah.
I think you even confused the crickets on that one.
To cricket or not to cricket? That is the question.
Oh, well. It was very good. It's better than I could do. All right. I think he's got a...
No, I don't. I'm not ready yet.
3 hours later.
All right. So he's tasted both, and he's realizing what we realized. It's a clusterfuck.
Yeah. Well, Scott, we'll sing some more.
I'm gonna go with A.
Hey.
Hey. Wow. Out of nowhere.
Yeah. And it was.
Top seed Remus is going on.
Oh, Remus! He agreed with me for once.
Yes. The Remus. Repeal Reserve squeaks by. The Four Roses Small Batch Select, and we'll go on to the final pour.
Man, oh man.
And I have to tell you, it definitely had a little more complexity, a little bit complexity.
A little bit.
And then the Four Roses, but for my flavor palette, I found the Four Roses delicious. So
For myself, I'll say, since I just kind of dropped that on you, it came down to the complexity and circling back to the Remus versus the mouthfeel of the Four Roses. I felt was superior. There was a nice kind of richness to the mouthfeel.
Yeah.
It was kind of like cocoa powder versus like a chocolate bar.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
And so there was more of a fuller body on
Like me.
the Four Roses. Oh, I love a full body. I already know that. But I kept getting more baking spice notes on the George Remus, and I just found that more intriguing, and it kind of begged me to try it more.
So the Remus goes on. We're halfway through
this
round. We have the 110 and the 120 coming, and it only gets drunker from here.
Oh, God.
Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
All right, so we are back.
The Old Ezra, number 1, versus the Smoke Wagon Malted Rye, number 2. The mash bill, the Old Ezra Rye, to refresh everybody's memories, a mashup of 2 different mash bills. a high ed mash bill for a rye, 51.49. And then they course some of the 95.5 famous one. It proofs it at 114. It's 7 years old. Knocked off the blue note, uncut. And it's going to be going against that Smoke Wagon malted rye. A very interesting mash bill itself. 51% rye and 49% malted barley. Proofed at 119.36. Just sliding in under the parameters. So it's going to be a 114 versus a 119. Shouldn't really be a big difference. This knocked out the Koval single barrel. 110 proof bracket. Old Ezra rye. Smoke Wagon malted rye. Here we go. Here comes A. Ooh, nice dark color on A.
And Anders was saying off air that he had never had the Smoke Wagon malted rye before, and he may very soon.
The way today is going, after really only having, one tie or two ties?
I think one tie in each round previous to this. Very uncharacteristic for us.
Right.
Keep going from here.
We're agreeing a lot, but not today.
The B nose is stronger than the A nose.
Ooh, interesting. See, so on the short that we did for these, we tasted them in succession. We didn't taste them side by side at all.
No.
There is some similarities on the nose. They're not exact like the last round.
They both taste amazing, but they are different on the taste.
On A, I'm getting an almost ginger quality to it.
A redhead thing.
No. Like actual ginger.
I know.
Scott, I get it.
Because what came to mind when I smelled it was sushi. And I was like, well, it doesn't smell like fish. It doesn't smell like rice. It doesn't smell like soy sauce. What does it smell like? It smells like ginger.
Right. So you think
like
it's
the sliced ginger that you get because it's pickled ginger. And maybe it's the dill quality and the sweetness that's kind of combining into that.
A little bit of that brine.
Or it could be ginger.
Or it could be just straight up ginger. I always like Maryanne better, honestly. If I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a ginger man myself.
You're a ginger man.
Through and through.
Oh, wait. Ginger or Jeanie? Oh, Jeanie.
Jeanie.
Yeah, Jeanie,
absolutely. All right, so A or B?
They both taste tremendous. Like, these are excellent whiskeys.
Wow. I feel like a fraud for choosing either one of these because I feel like the other one's that good.
A is really spicy on the finish.
It's spicy.
It's so spicy. We make that joke every time.
Good. So I hope that the people listen every day, every week are sick of
Or
it.
like, God damn it. I hope they add us.
And if you hate us, email it at whiskeytangent@gmail.com. Stop with a spicy joke.
Email us your hate. Your
Come
hate
to the dark side.
makes you stronger.
I'm afraid the whiskey will be quite tasty when your friends arrive.
He's so sassy. Poppy Palpatine.
Love it.
I have to tell you, here's my quandary. And
Quandary.
I'll see if Scott agrees with me. A is delicious.
Yes.
I mean, just fucking spectacular.
Yes.
And B is more complex. But is it quite as satisfying? I'm not sure, but it's such a kick-ass whiskey. Like, I feel like it's punching me in the mouth and being like, you pay attention to me. And I'm like, I'm kind of liking A, but B's like, do you?
No.
Because then you're a bitch because I'm a better whiskey. And I'm like, are you? And I'm not sure. And I'm having this battle in my mouth right now because they're both fighting me right now.
Yes.
And B's being belligerent.
I agree with you. Where if you taste A, you're like, that's awesome. I really like it. It's nice and smooth. It's got some caramel in it. It's got some complexity.
Yes.
Then you taste B, and your B just punches you in the face and says, love me.
I'm going to do what I've never done before. I want Scott to hand it to me randomly with my eyes closed.
Okay.
I'm going to make the decision.
I haven't even decided.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, glass one. Ed has his eyes closed.
Yes.
I have chose which one to hand him, A or B. And he downed the entire thing, which I will remove from the venue.
As
A
I
big
tend
gulp
to do.
is a determining.
That was glass
technique.
one, and this is glass two. This is how close these are.
This is a tight matchup.
Okay.
One or
Second
two?
one.
The second one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
All right. So now I will decide. Oh, well, we probably shouldn't have done that way.
Well, here.
we
I'll do
can-
the same thing to
all
you.
right.
Close your eyes, okay?
All right. Close my eyes.
All right, we're doing this blind taste now.
Yeah.
Blind.
All right.
Triple blind. Quadruple blind. Ocho blind.
If it's almost a taste, we've got it.
Okay.
Delicious.
These are so
Delicious.
good. These are so good. Everyone, get your friends together and do this right now.
All right. So the first one tasted like you put brown sugar in a bowl and put water in it. Or like making a sugar syrup.
That's fair.
That was awesome. But the second one had extra flavors to it. I'm going to pick the second one.
Okay. All right. Pass it into Anders, and Anders will tell us.
All right. So was it a unanimous decision? No.
We need another tiebreaker.
It's another tiebreaker, 3 in a row. And I'm telling you guys, this has been so close.
Which one is which? Do you know?
Oh, that's a good one.
I thought B was Smoke Wagon.
I have no idea.
Scott, you have elected the old Ezra.
Oh.
And you have chosen the Smoke Wagon.
Right.
Oh, my God.
But I didn't know it was Smoke Wagon when I tasted it.
No,
'cause
I
did
feel like
blind
that's
tip.
the opposite of what we should have done.
I think based on our flavor profile, I should have liked the old Ezra better, and I do. And I did on the episode. I bet if you go back and listen to the episode,
We were opposite.
we were opposite then. And that
Absolutely
just shows
we
you how
are.
close they are. So I'm going to switch with Anders, and he's going to break this motherfucking tie.
Overtime. The 110 proof, again, third in a row, as I predicted.
To clarify something, I chose the old Ezra, and Scott chose the Smoke Wagon,
Right.
which makes more sense to us.
Absolutely does.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a switch. He just looked at our choices and got confused in his head.
Right.
I thought I was choosing the Smoke Wagon. Okay.
Oh, God, that's so
So it's
confusing.
so crazy.
Really?
Now I'm really confused.
Right.
Yeah, hologram Gabe, what do you
Yeah,
think?
which one did you think was better, Gabe?
What are your thoughts?
All I know is if this is tiebreaker or not, I'm trying both of these later. If you can't stop me. I'm Gabe.
Oh, well, that's
Oh, wow.
fascinating.
Really?
He also liked the old Ezra. Good.
Interesting. Huh. Is that what he said?
I think so.
Oh,
That's
okay.
how I
Yeah,
interpret
you have
it.
to interpret it,
I
right.
thought he agreed with me, which
Okay.
since he's not here to disagree with me, I'm going to make an agreement. All right, so
It is uncanny.
I'm
how
going to
much you
pass
guys
over
are
the
agreeing.
A.
Thank you.
Okay, and then I'm going to pass over the B, and
Oh,
now we have 20
man.
minutes. 20 minutes of smelling and praying and chanting, sacrificing a chicken and everything else that goes into this.
Wow. Honestly, either of these,
Yeah.
if you're a fan of ryes,
The
the old Ezra rye is more of a traditional one, but with
Yeah.
a little bit of surprisingness. But the Smoke Wagon malted rye has such a deeper, more interesting
and
notes.
they're not giving either one away. They're
No.
between 60 and 70. But I will say they're both worth it.
Yeah.
So I think this is the one that you were talking about earlier, Scott, because I'm getting like dill and lemongrass off of
Yeah.
A.
Yeah.
And B, I'm getting like more of a rich nose. I'm getting like Werther's Originals on B.
These are not as hard as the last ones, but they're damn close.
I mean, it's not that they're close because they actually do taste different, but they're both
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah, so it was to me. It was like I
Yeah.
needed to just taste them in the moment and not look at anything or
Yeah.
hear anything.
I mean, there's not a clear-cut winner in any of these,
Yep.
obviously, because we tied 3 times.
I mean, they're so good. And Scott and I have been doing really well with our palates, but
We had.
it's man, it would have been interesting to have Gabe here because his palate's completely different than
Yeah.
Anders and completely different than ours.
Definitely is.
He has a very unique palate, so I might be punching Gabe in the face right now for his choices. I'm not sure. Probably not, Gabe. Probably not. But I'm just saying.
But not
It wouldn't take
hologram
much.
Gabe,
No,
because
hologram Gabe
you
is
like
great.
hologram
I
Gabe.
love hologram Gabe.
I'm Gabe.
Put him up and let me see him. Like, take his beard off for a second. Look,
Oh,
like he's 20, like he's
stunning.
30 years old. Look at him.
I can take his clothes off. if
No,
you want me
no,
to.
no, no,
no,
no, no. Put him up.
Oh, wait, no, I just did.
Put that
sorry,
dial
sorry, I
back
just
up.
did.
Put him in a Jedi robe.
A Jedi robe? Okay.
Jedi
wait,
Gabe.
wait, here we go. Oh, that was a look now.
Schwartz.
Good. No, good. Now put him in the edge hat from you two while he's still in the Jedi robe.
Okay.
All right, good. That's enough. Thank you for that. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, he's punching his steering wheel right now.
God, Jim, you guys, Jesus
This is
Christ.
what you get for not showing up, Gabe. We brought you anyway.
I get what you were saying earlier
Yeah.
about one being so complex versus the other one saying, love me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
I'm getting more like baking spices, clove, a little bit of coriander on A, which is the one that kind of portrayed that like lemongrass note
Right.
earlier. B, very dry finish.
All right, so
All right,
A or B,
A or B?
you thinking?
Yeah, we got to make it.
I'm thinking
America wants to know.
A.
A.
And A was.
The second seed, Smoke Wagon, Malted Rye.
Wagon! Woo! Again,
All right.
honors!
Upsetting the old Ezra number 7.
Amazing.
So him and Scott both picked this. It's the second round in a
Second
row.
round.
Well, I
in a
guess
row.
on our next split, I'm going to agree with you again. Ed, But I also want to shout out two of my favorite sales reps for
Yeah, sure.
2
Oh,
years.
sure.
So
Go ahead.
Joe Radis from Luxco.
Yeah,
He's a
sure.
gangster.
Old Ezra, man, fought a good fight this
Old
tournament.
Ezra,
Yeah.
Remus, and everything in between. Yellowstone
Yeah.
is on that. And then the one and only DJ Rose. 100 in. He's my Garrison Brothers guy.
Okay,
Smoke
Hey.
Wagon.
nice. So
Very
those-
old Saint Nick and Rare Perfection.
Nice.
Ooh,
I've never
Old Saint Nick.
I never had the old
Yeah.
Saint Nick. I've never
Yeah.
tried it.
I
So
think
So
maybe-
you're gonna.
Maybe next Christmas.
Yeah.
That's a good Christmas
That might be.
whiskey.
That's a good Christmas
Yeah.
whiskey.
Yeah. So the Smoke Wagon's going through. We're going to take a break, wash all the glasses, reassume our positions for the Nulu single barrel bourbon and the old line American single malt from local Baltimore.
Assume the position.
Awesome.
try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion. Your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression.
All right, so we're back for the last round.
Ooh, so excited.
Of this episode. The 120 proof, the Nulu single barrel bourbon, the second seed, going against the upstart old line American single malt from Baltimore, the fourth seed, which we gushed over as they defeated the top seed Alberta Castrants in round one. And we said this could be a problem, though the Nulu, of course, which is dear to my heart, is a retirement gift from my coworkers.
Delicious.
And really did exactly what we thought it would do in round one, defeating the third seed, the Brooklyn 77 Malted Wheat, which is an amazing whiskey.
The only matchup in round one that was not an upset.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so the Nulu versus the old line, here we go. Anders has poured them, and he's going to pass it over to us. Here comes A.
Hey. Oh, and Shavonne has joined us.
Shavonne has joined us in the background. She's in the gallery, in the press box area of this arena. She has, of course, VIP passes. Here comes the B from Anders.
A smells amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
You've missed it. We've had hologram Gabe with us all day.
Hologram Gabe. Because Gabe was not able to make it, so we created a hologram.
With far more.
We'll fire it up in a minute. It takes a lot of battery power to fire him up, so you'll see him in a second.
Yeah.
All right, so A is very traditional to me.
Oh, interesting. I think A smells really non-traditional.
Really? Well,
Interesting.
fuck you then, Scott.
They are the same one. And that was very aggressive.
Somebody's hangry. Because we ordered Chinese and it's not here yet.
I've been slandered twice by Chinese places.
Well, I mean, part of slander is Anders, so.
Right.
It would be Slanders.
Slander.
So,
I've been slandered.
You've been slandered.
all right, quote Gabe, if we can focus on the whiskey for a minute.
Okay, yeah.
B has a much thinner nose
Yeah, yes, I agree.
than A.
But they're both really nice.
Are you able to make a distinction? Do you know which one is
gosh.
which yet?
No, not at all.
Interesting.
They taste very similar because I was expecting B because the nose was a little more subdued than A to taste a little more subdued, and it didn't. It tastes just as potent as A.
So to be clear, it's 122.6 for the Nulu versus 123.2 for the American single malt from Old Line. They're both very similar proof-wise, but one is a single malt and one's a bourbon, so we should be able to tell right away, and we're not. I don't know, I feel it reflects on
Well,
us.
I said before, and I said it the very first time that we tasted this, even before the tournament started, like, this is an American single malt that does not taste like an American single malt. It tastes like a bourbon. It has a lot of sweet notes, a lot of caramel, a lot of vanilla, but it also has that little extra bit that you think is the proof, but I think is the malted barley.
All right, put some water in.
I do find those moments really interesting when mash can betray proof.
Yeah.
I think it might be a tie again because B is very complex. A is very traditional. I like them both so much. I had to make a choice. I made a choice for something that I can see myself enjoying long term. But my God, I could drink both of these alternating all night, every night for the rest of my life and not have a bad night. I have no idea what I chose.
No, A has a little bit more tobacco leather quality than B does. All right, so I've made my decision, and it's very possible that we are going to have the fourth tie in a row.
I think there's no doubt that we are because I feel like the one that I didn't choose, you're going to like better than me, Scott, because it has everything you like.
I totally agree.
I could have chosen it, but I chose the one I chose.
And I could have chosen yours because I think it's...
Or we chose the same. We
I don't
even know.
know.
We're
We
insane.
don't know.
We're like talking...
I know.
Because only Anders knows the truth.
Right, Anders knows the truth. Anders, was it a unanimous decision for once in this round?
It wasn't. There's no way it was. It was A and B. Because I know him.
Anders, please tell us. Don't keep us.
This feels so good.
Please tell us.
Old Line is moving over.
Oh,
Number one.
You picked the same one.
It was
figured out this and won the upset.
Wow.
And an upset.
Old line and
Old
an
line
upset.
moves
Holy
on.
crap, the 4 seed goes
A
on to the final
moves
pour.
on to the final pour.
Wow.
Two 4s are in the final pour. The Redwood and
Yes.
the Old Line. Nulu was amazing. I'm going to say it's a little more complex, but it wasn't as enjoyable. It was kind of chaotic.
So Nulu was B.
Nulu
Yeah.
was B,
Yeah.
correct.
All right.
I had a hunch. I've had some fabulous barrel picks with
Yeah,
Nulu.
well, you should taste both of them when we go on break because
I'd love to.
you need to see what these look
Yeah, yeah.
But it was an amazing journey to have both of these.
Oh,
in.
my God.
And I really thought I was picking the Nulu.
Interesting.
I was wrong.
So I thought I was picking the Old Line,
Did you?
but I wasn't 100% sure because they're very close.
Yeah.
They have a lot of complexity,
Yeah.
both of them. But I thought one finished a little weaker. And I think it was the Nulu. And
Yeah.
by weaker, I mean just smallest degrees of weakness.
I have to say, the Old Line was just more enjoyable in my mouth. So I thought, well, it must be the traditional bourbon that I'm tasting and I'm liking so much. And no, it was the Old Line. So the Old Line moves on to the final pour, along with the Redwood Empire, along with the Remus Repeal Reserve, and along with the Smoke Wagon Malted Rye.
Okay, well, Gabe, because
right.
he couldn't be here, I asked him what his
Right,
predictions
so
would
Gabe's
be.
predictions are coming in.
And this is actual Gabe, not hologram
All right.
Gabe.
This is not hologram
Not
Gabe.
hologram
It's
Gabe.
real Gabe.
He said, I see Redwood versus Remus, so he got that right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and Old Line versus Old Ezra. So that's the only one he got wrong.
3 out of 4,
Yeah.
Gabe. I'm going to take my hat off to you, Gabe.
Pretty good, Gabe.
Job, Gabe.
Pretty good, Gabe.
Good job. All right, so an unbelievable round. This is the best round we've had in a long time.
Awesome. I
In the
loved
whiskey
every part of
madness.
this. Mm.
Coming into the final pour, which will be out next week. The Redwood Empire, the 4 seed versus the top seed Remus. The Smoke Wagon Malted Rye, number 2, going against the number 4 Old Line.
So really, we had 3 upsets in this round.
Yeah, we did.
The only one that wasn't the upset was the Remus.
Correct. It's been a tournament of upsets for us. Enjoy the music on the way out. For the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
I'm Anders.
And shout out to Hologram Gabe.
I'm Gabe.
Tune in next week where we find out who is the winner of the final pour.
Take that, make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Shit. You ain't gonna make it, you ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just fake it.